Good evening. England have kicked off their Women's World Cup campaign with a victory over Haiti in Australia. Haiti are ranked 53rd in the world, while the Lionesses beat them 1-0 at the Brisbane Stadium. Earlier, there were victories for the United States and for Japan. From Brisbane, our sports correspondent Katie Gornall reports.
Welcome to the FIFA Women's World Cup. Come on!
The first stop on their Australian adventure. England's fans had travelled near and far to Brisbane. As European champions, these supporters are used to major tournaments.
England!
Haitians were experiencing a Women's World Cup for the first time.
If we score a goal, just a goal, one goal, there's going to be such an explosion of joy in Haiti.
It's our time this year. It's our time. Yeah, definitely.
I think so, you're nodding?
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got to be favourites in our group, and then you're into tournament football, but we've got a very good chance.
England are a big draw here in Brisbane. There's plenty of excitement around the team, but there are questions too. Key players are missing through injury, and they haven't scored a goal in their last 3 friendly matches.
England were expected to put that right against Haiti, a team ranked 49 places below them. But the underdogs weren't overawed and had the game's first real chance. Just as England were getting started, Chloe Kelly was stopped brutally in her tracks. The crowd and Kelly's shin suggested penalty, but the referee spotted a foul by Alicia Russo in the build-up and had this to say.
My decision is no penalty kick.
England's manager was not impressed. But minutes later, they were given a helping hand when Bacheba Louis executed a basketball move in the area. This time, there was only one outcome.
Penalty kick.
Georgia Stanway stepped up, so too did Haiti's goalkeeper. But as they were celebrating, VAR intervened again. Teus had been off her line, which meant Stanway had another go.
Stanway with a second chance. She takes it this time.
And England were up and running. England may be one of the best in the world, but Haiti have never been better. In the second half, their star, Melchi Dormene, had Mary Earp scrambling. England have been told to be ruthless, but chances came and chances went. Russo wasn't the only one wanting more. But Haiti never let up, with Elosson bringing out the best from Mary Earps.
Mary Earps with a super save, and it needed to be.
In the end, England had their keeper to thank for their 3 points.
They're really tough to play against in the centre, very quick, very physical, exactly what we expected them to be like. And I think we could have handled them a little bit better in transition, and we made it a little bit difficult for ourselves. But most important thing, first game, first win, and then we move on to the next.
World Cups aren't won or lost in the first game, but it's clear from this performance that England have an awful lot to work on if they're to get some much-needed momentum in their next match against Denmark. Katie Gornall, BBC News in Brisbane.
The authorities on the Greek island of Rhodes say thousands of people have been evacuated from homes and hotels there because of wildfires. Private boats have joined the Greek Coast Guard in helping to pick up people from beaches on the east of the island. The country's deputy fire chief says the fires there are the most difficult that Greece is currently facing as the heatwave across southern Europe continues. Well, we can go live now to Greece for the latest, and our reporter Azadeh Mashiri, who's in Laganisi, southeast of Athens. Azadeh, just bring us up to date with what's happening.
There is no respite from the heat here in Greece. Temperatures are set to break records, and for some that may mean flocking to the beach. But for others, there are far more immediate dangers. Firefighters that we check in with every morning told us today all their efforts would be focused on Rhodes, that the fires that have been burning throughout the mainland in places like Laganisi will be under control most likely. And they were right. By the afternoon, pictures were trickling in of smoke covering the island of Rhodes. Tourists and villagers have been evacuated. Hotels are said to have been burnt down. And the fact is, the fire there has been burning for 5 days. It's said to be out of control, which is why Greece's firefighters have been receiving help from other countries. Italy, France, Israel has sent planes. Firefighters have come from several other countries like Slovakia, Poland and Romania. But with temperatures set to rise throughout the weekend, hitting 45 degrees Celsius potentially tomorrow, the fire service that we've spoken to has said they're extremely concerned about what could happen with these conditions and that they're on red alert.
Azadeh, thank you very much indeed. Here, the Labour leader, Sir Keir Starmer, has warned his party must learn the lessons of its failure to win the Uxbridge by-election. Many analysts have blamed the defeat on plans by London's Labour mayor to expand the ultra-low emission zone, a charge on the most polluting vehicles. Well, speaking at Labour's National Policy Forum in Nottingham, Keir Starmer said it shows there's still a long way to go for the party.
In an election, policy matters. And we are doing something very wrong if policies put forward by the Labour Party end up on each and every Tory leaflet. We've got to face up to that and to learn the lessons.
Rail strikes are disrupting travel plans today as many people try to get away for their summer holidays. Members of the RMT union working for 14 train companies are taking industrial action in their dispute over pay and conditions. Noor Nanji has the latest.
Another day of rail strikes and limited services. Passengers in York have had to change their plans.
We left Manchester at 9 o'clock this morning and now we've had an hour wait in York, whereas normally it's a direct train.
It's not good really when, you know, family days out and things like that, because you do need to plan ahead when you've got young children.
Today's strike by members of the RMT union affects 14 train companies based in England. The dispute over pay, jobs and working conditions has no clear end in sight.
Basically the government and the Department for Transport and the Rail Delivery Group, there's been no movement from them. They've not come back to the union since the last offer, and the last offer just wasn't fit for purpose.
The RMT has rejected a backdated pay rise of 5%, followed by 4% this year, conditional on accepting changes to ways of working. The Rail Delivery Group, which represents the operators, says the offer remains on the table. It says reforms will carry on because the industry can't stand still, with any changes subject to employee and passenger consultation. At Paddington Station in London, it's a rainy start to the summer holidays, as passengers try to find ways around the rail strikes. This station was busy earlier, but it's quietened down now. Many services for the day ended earlier than usual because of the strikes, and that meant many passengers had to travel earlier to get where they wanted. Mid-afternoon, and it's a rush to catch the last trains. But it's unlikely to be the last disruption for passengers, with another strike set for next Saturday. Noor Nanji, BBC News.
Now, it's been a frustrating day for England's cricketers on the fourth day of the fourth Ashes Test. Play was delayed because of the rain, and although England have taken one wicket, the Covers are back on at Old Trafford. Our sports correspondent Joe Wilson is there for us.
This was expected, it was not wanted. But guess what? Against many expectations, the rain stopped. 2:45 and those were cricketers at Old Trafford. Yep, ready there and ready there. England resumed their search for 6 wickets to stay in the Ashes. This shot from Mitchell Marsh brushed the lingering clouds and fell just beyond the sprinting Moeen Ali. If the crowd could will a wicket, they were putting everything they could into it. Chilly afternoon, sensible outfit. Now, England's captain in urgent discussions. The umpire's concern was the light, too gloomy for the batters to face fast bowling safely. So, Joe Root's spin to Marnus Labuschagne's bat. Hopefully they could see the ball coming in that grandstand. And Labuschagne was soon celebrating his 100. Had the rain relented just for Australia to enjoy the day? Hold on, is that out? It's a catch. Did it touch the bat? Umpire? Well, there's your evidence on review. Yes, Labuschagne gone, Australia 5 down, the game was on. Root now to Mitchell Marsh. And a fingertip or two away from a brilliant catch there. The players took their interval for tea. Australia 214 for 5. The match paused for rain. Be frustrated by this? Well, be grateful we've had any play at all today. Well, right now I'm tucked away behind the grandstand at Old Trafford and I can definitely feel the drizzle. I fear that's it for us for today. England will be relieved definitely to get rid of Marnus Labuschagne, but really they've inched their way forwards. Remember, if they're to win this test match, and they must win this test match, first job is to take 5 more Australian wickets. Now, if they had a full day of play to look forward to tomorrow in the 5th and final day of this test match, then I'm sure England would feel confident. But Ben, tomorrow, once again, at least initially, we will be expecting our old friend, the rain.
Or our old enemy, maybe. Joe, thank you very much. Joe Wilson. There's more throughout the evening on the BBC News channel. We will be back with the late news at 10:05 tonight. Now on BBC One, it is time for the news where you are. Goodbye.